I'm just gonna do a quick rant because I'm bored and I feel like it. To get started, I wanna say that my thoughts presented today are from an outsider finally stepping in. I've always avoided watching survival shows and now I see why I was hesitant. My nerves have been sparked because recently I've been watching Chungha 2020, Youth with You Season 2, and Nizi Project. It's been like a sensory sense overload cause I hate everyone in charge of these programs. I'm just gonna state some things I don't like and why. Please keep in mind that I don't hate any of the girls, I hate who's in charge. Here's how far along I am in each show. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start talking rubbish. I've noticed while watching Chungha 2020 that they do not have their shit together. The judges will say one thing and do the other. For example, they'll say they want a person that can shine in a group, not a soloist, but go on to pick a literal solo contestant over a group. Where's the logic? Where have your rules gone? They'd also put singers against dancers and act like that's fair judgment. I'd assumed the show got over this problem since I hadn't seen it after around episode 3, but in episode 5 they did it again. I just wish the show would establish a criteria that they're looking for instead of expecting us to just blindly watch them do anything. Watch as Victoria explains how they rate the contestants.
毕竟我们还是要以最低标准唱跳来评价他们。
Now watch these two groups perform. Now look at who won between the two.
还是得接受最终的结果。因为这一次的对决关系实力有点悬殊的，所以我们一致决定，五毒组对胜出了。五毒胜出，恭喜！
When they say this, they clearly mean the teams aren't on par with dancing cause as I showed. 5 Poisons didn't sing. I just can't understand why they couldn't put singing dancers against singing dancers and then dancers against dancers. Family 4 weren't all that at singing, but at least they sang at all. Their dancing also wasn't horrible. If we were to compare the two groups solely for their dancing, then yeah, I'd choose 5 Poisons. But I shouldn't have to break down aspects of their performances to judge them by. The judges should have put groups centered on the same thing together in the first place. Now I'm gonna show a sequence of clips that demonstrate a solo winning over a group.
我最爱的你呀，你是一个酸甜的糖果，尽收心里烦恼的面孔。
唱的背色。
就像刚才说的，因为我特别期待姚慧这样的走到最后。
没进，然后恭喜你，姚慧。
姚慧，恭喜。
I'm just gonna let this comment summarize my thoughts on that. Idol producer is a lot better in presenting its criteria and goals in the show. Like it knows what it is going for, but what is this management? I saw the live of the final lineup and that shit looked like a ghetto birthday party. None of the girls wanted to be there. It was messy and unorganized. The girls had to fix the setup themselves and it's honestly embarrassing. Apparently the crowd wasn't even real according to Esther. The whole thing was just really weird. That brings me back to Chungha 2020 when Seulrene had to call the producers out because they wouldn't give her a commercial like the other girls. And I understand why she's frustrated because she ranked number 2 and I feel like I only saw her appear twice. There are contestants ranked a far numbers behind her, more engraved into my head than the first 3 digits of pi. Idol producer and Chungha 2020 are whack. Nizi. Nizi. I had so much faith in you. Why in the world did this man continuously rank Ayaka, his obvious favorite, above girls that did way better than her? I don't wanna spread hate towards anybody, but I do want to point out what I noticed within JYP himself. Nothing that the girls did. I know claiming JYP has favoritism is very big, and my details to support my claim probably aren't the strongest, but you just have to watch the show to see for yourself. There's a vibe you just pick up on. To explain, JYP would give some girls such good critiques and end up ranking them very low, but will turn around and tell Ayaka she's a little below average but still rank her just high enough to get a cue ball because she looks like Suzy from Miss A. It's clear JYP is a guy who favors personality a lot more than the typical company, cause he'd rather keep some girls for what could be than what already is. And JYP is obviously more educated than me about kpop, and he knows what he's doing. I just wish I saw his reasoning for choosing trainees the same way. I thought miihi was a favorite too, but then he started to rank her kinda low and made me think otherwise. Then again, I can't forget when he let the very X3 team beat the DTN team. He himself said DTN had the best teamwork but chose very X3. I don't think it's outlandish to say they won because certain members were on that team. Also, I hate how he straight up robbed Akari. You can't just praise her to no end and then not debut her. Maybe it's cause of some other reason that the viewers don't know, because as an outsider, there's no reason she couldn't have been a 10th member. Also, I'm just salty in general the girls that didn't make it got eliminated. I hope Yuno ends up like Cherryung and debuts later under JYP, since she was a trainee after all. Don't get me wrong, Island is fucking beautiful and I honestly wouldn't have a problem with it if the voting system was different. If you don't know the system because you didn't watch, I'll explain. Select groups of trainees would perform a song, then the other trainees would vote if they get to join Island, which is a really luxury building with all of their needs. Island has a capacity of 12 people, so of the 23 trainees that join, only 12 can be in Island at a time. The remaining 9 will go to the ground. The ground still looks pretty cool to me, but some aspects make it look like prison. That doesn't matter though, cause you don't want to be on the ground, because if you are, you can't debut. In the first round, all but one person voted for the first performer because they all thought he did well. By the end, fewer and fewer people were voting for the trainees even if they performed well, because they thought there wouldn't be enough space for them to be able to be voted into Island. On the last round, the 3 trainees did extremely well, but there was no space left, so this caused 15 people to be voted into Island, and like mentioned earlier, you can only have 12. So now, contestants in Island have to be voted out. This turned legit friends against each other. The voting is unfair. It's like first come first serve. Bang PD. Rain and Zico should have also interacted with the trainees. But I think I saw somewhere that it's gonna get better, therefore I won't complain much since it is just the first episode. In conclusion, what I've gathered from these shows is to not expect too much from anything. I'm gonna continue to watch these survival shows and others even if they give me a headache at times. That's all I have to say. Comment your opinions down below and subscribe if you haven't already on your way out. Bye.